Long story short, we were late for our all aboard time and I was panicking so much I couldn't even get drunk off the tequila. Hey guys, in today's video I am sharing all about the salsa dancing, tequila tasting, and guacamole excursion that I booked through Royal Caribbean for our Costa port of call. If you're wondering what this excursion is all about and what's included, then keep watching. Alright, so let's start with the meeting point process. We actually had to meet at 10:30, which is a relatively later start to an excursion, and we did not meet on the cruise ship. We had to get off the boat and walk down this long pier. I mean, it takes about 10 minutes. We were with children, so maybe that added to the length. They do have shuttles, but the shuttles don't run very frequently, so you're more than likely going to walk. We arrived at the assembly point a few minutes before 10:30. There was someone there to greet us. You kind of get in your row based on the sign that's there. Now, I was very shocked to know that we were going on a coach bus off-site to our excursion, because from everything that I had read, it said that most of the excursions for Costa are right there within the port. It's walking distance back to the ship. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I know that we have an all aboard time for 2:30. So if we go over time, I'll just walk back to the ship. However, we went on a bus to some unknown place. So that plan went out the window. We boarded the bus. And we drove for about 10 minutes to this, I would say more like a hostel. Now, once we arrived, we went inside. And I will say, even though you are inside for this portion, wear mosquito spray. We were getting bit by mosquitoes, so we actually had to go outside and spray ourselves down really quickly. It's just a part of travel, but make sure you wear mosquito spray. All right, so we were inside. The building was air conditioned. They gave us water upon arrival, and in front of us, we saw these plates that had everything set out for making guacamole and different types of salsa. This part of the excursion was actually very well done. It was very well run, and we enjoyed learning how to make it. I will say this portion was family friendly. I have a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old, and they made out pretty well with helping us. It is a step-by-step process, so they're telling you what to do. They go at a pretty decent pace, so I didn't feel like we were lagging behind. And my children enjoyed this part. My son, who doesn't help me in the kitchen at home, he was enjoying making the guacamole, so he liked to press the avocado and chop up the onions and things, so that was fun. We made 2 types of salsa. One was a mild salsa, the other one was very spicy, depending on how much jalapeno or some other type of pepper you put in it. Along with the water that they provide, they also bring around margaritas for you to try, and soda if you don't drink margaritas. Once we had made our guac and salsa, we were tasting it with the most delicious tortilla chips. They were homemade. The hostel that we were at, they make them there. They were so fresh, you could taste the difference. But I looked at the clock, and it took about an hour and a half for us to get this far. It was 12:30 going 1 o'clock, and I was like, we don't really have a whole lot of time. So in addition to all of this, we're supposed to be doing salsa dancing and visiting a beach. How is this happening in an hour and a half? So anyway, I was like, okay, Michelle, you're in Mexico, just enjoy yourself, and if push comes to shove, I will call a taxi and find a way back to the port. So they brought out all the different samplings of tequila. I mean, every flavor you could imagine we were tasting. You could also purchase it if you were interested. So I'm taking shots of tequila, whatever, but I'm not getting drunk. And I can only say it was because I was worried about missing the boat and having to sleep in Mexico. Now, from here, we were given a choice. They said you can either learn how to salsa dance or you can go on a beach break, because right beyond the hostel, maybe 2-minute walk away, there was a beach. And so I was like, well, we can do a beach anywhere. Let's do salsa dancing. Let's learn how to salsa dance. And this was a highlight for us. My children loved it. I enjoyed watching my little boy and my little girl dance. And they did step-by-step dancing. And by the end of it, honestly, I felt like I could salsa dance. I felt like a pro put me on Dancing with the Stars. After this, I was like, all right, fine, let's go get back on the bus and go back to the port, because now it's like 1:30. Like, we're looking at 1:30. We need to be back in an hour. You know, the bus, it takes a little bit of time for everyone to get on and load and sit down. But oh no, our tour guide came and said, all right, so now we're gonna swap with the group who went to the beach, and they're gonna salsa dance, and you guys are gonna go to the beach. I'm like, no. I don't want to go to the beach. I want to go back to the port. And she's like, oh, we got plenty of time. The tour, if we're late, it's fine. You know, the cruise will wait for you. And obviously, one of the good things about booking with the cruise line is that if you are late on an excursion, that they will wait for you. But I didn't realize we were purposefully trying to be late. But that's what happened. So we ended up swapping. I'm at the beach like, oh my goodness, let me Google some hotels, because I'm going to be spending the night and several nights in Mexico. So we went to the beach. It was called Blue K, I believe. They did have, of course, you know, vendors coming up and trying to sell their goods. So it wasn't really the most relaxing beach. We didn't have a lot of time anyway. It was like a half hour they gave us, which puts us up to 2 o'clock. Honestly, I was just so worried. I don't even know if I put my feet in the water. We were ready to go. But if you ever are in that area, there's plenty of shops and merchants and just like food and things along that strip. So if you had more time and you were there, I think it'll be worth a little wander and a look around. But we just didn't have time for that. So they're like, meet us back at the bus where the bus was parked at 2 o'clock. So we got back to where the bus was parked. The bus was not there. So we ended up waiting a little bit until like maybe 2:20. And that's when the bus returned. We need to be on the ship at 2:30. We are going to miss this ship. We had travel agents on our tour and they were like, what is going on? Like, even they were nervous. And we repeatedly asked our tour guide, what is the deal? Like, are we going to miss our ship? Please let them know that we're coming. And she's like, it's fine. This happens all the time. So we got on the bus and we hightailed back to the port. I will say the tour guides were very hospitable, very friendly, very nice. And the workers that were helping with the salsa making and the guacamole making, they were very lovely as well. But the whole timing of it all just didn't make any sense to us. Even though you know, okay, the cruise ship will wait, you just don't want to really play with fate like that, right? So once we arrived back at the parking lot, we got off the bus, said goodbye to our tour guide, and we ran. We were like running, all of us, like everyone on the tour. We were running all through the shopping area. We never got to see the port. We went all through it until we got a glimpse of our cruise ship and we saw that it was still tied to the pier. So we were like, okay. Obviously, there were no shuttles left because the boat's supposed to be gone. So we're like running down the dock. Like, some people are like out of breath. It was an absolute mess. It's 2:45 now, so we're 15 minutes late. I am totally not fit for this. Like, it made me realize I need to go visit that gym on the cruise ship. But anyway, once we finally got on or close to the ship, we saw some people still being let on. And I was like, okay, just please don't leave us. And we finally walked onto the ship and I was like, I have never been so happy to walk on the wonder of the seas. So that was my experience with this excursion. Now, if I had to rate it out of 10, I would say it was about a 6, maybe a 6.5. That's pushing it, 6.5. I did like, you know, making the food and the dancing. The beach break part of it I thought was unnecessary. They don't give you a lot of time at the beach, and so I don't really know what I'm supposed to do in a half hour with 2 young kids. Like, we're not going to go full on swimming and bring all their gear. And then you have to get changed to get back on the bus. So it was kind of like, this is just to look at a beach. And we had already seen like Coco Cay. We went to Roatan. We saw beaches already. So unless you just want to sit by the ocean, put your feet in kind of thing, it wasn't really a necessity. And honestly, if they were trying to cut back on time so that we weren't late to the ship, then this would have been like where you do it. I think we did not need to see the beach. There were 2 options in terms of time. I think it was like a 10:30 and a 9 o'clock. So maybe take that one, the 9 o'clock one. That way you give yourself a bit more time to get back to the port. We were definitely running on Mexican time. Nobody seemed like they were in a hurry or that they were worried. And although no, the ship did not leave us, so I guess, you know, they were right. The ship didn't leave. It's still not a good feeling when you know the boat's supposed to be leaving at this time, or they want you on board at this time, and you're not there. For me, that kind of ruined the experience, and I'm only just being honest. I don't want to bash the cruise line or the tour company, but this was just what I experienced. Me and the 23 other people on the tour that were not happy that we had to like be a dock runner so that we don't get left behind. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any specific questions about this excursion, if you're considering it, please comment down below. I'll be happy to help you out as much as I can. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I love this travel community that we're building here, and I will see you guys in the next one. I'll talk to you later. Bye.